guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yewande if it's your first time watching, and if it's not, thank you so much for joining me back. Now before we go anywhere, before we start this conversation, make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, that would mean the world to me, and make sure you drop a nice comment, that would be great too. So we're gonna do a get ready with me today. Do you know what? I talk about literally everything. We touch on friendships, bad friendships, good friendships, one-sided friendships. We talk about like 25 plus. Oh my God, hate saying it. 25 plus, we talk about the pressures of marriage. We talk about babies. We talk literally about everything. Talk about my book, Reclaiming as well, which is available to pre-order. Just sliding that in there. And also a big thank you to Tangle Teaser for sponsoring this video. I also show you my hair care routine and my hair journey so far. I've literally had an up and down journey with my hair with like dead ends, and it's been a minute and it's been a journey. So I will just get right into this video and we will start my get ready with me. So I'll see you soon. So I've already done my foundation and set my eyebrows just to make it quicker. I never actually put that much foundation under my eyes just because I'm gonna literally go ham with concealer anyway, so I don't want it to look too cakey. But yeah, I just wanted to have like a quick catch up and talk about like what I've been doing for the last like 3-4 months, because I'm pretty sure that's the last time that I did a sit down get ready with me. So let's get into it. So I'm just gonna set under my eyes with MAC. Again, I'll leave everything in the description box because I know if I'm showing you this on camera, I'm literally gonna be here till morning. So I'm just gonna put that on my hand. I'm gonna grab myself a mirror so I can actually see what I'm doing. That would be smart. So yeah, like this week, what have I done? So quick catch up before we get into like what I've been doing for like the last like 3 months. So this week I went like shopping, and like I've been just getting like loads of new perfumes and stuff like that. And like, do you know what? I'm so picky with my perfumes now. I love me spicy, woody scents. Like I've absolutely never ever liked sweet scents. Like even in like primary school and secondary school, I was that one weirdo who was wearing like Elizabeth Arden. Like I was just never a Britney Spears type of girl, or a Rihanna Rebel type of bitch either. So I've always kind of liked my very woody, spicy scents. So I've been getting new perfumes, as I said, and then do you know what I've absolutely been loving? Penhaligon. Now, the PR team at Penhaligon is literally working harder than the devil, because I've been literally seeing it literally everywhere. Like every bloody influencer is posting it on their stories, and like, so I think the second fragrance I got was last week, and I'm not going to tell you the first one I got because I'm absolutely obsessed with it and I just don't want anyone smelling like me. I don't have a thing with smells. But the second one I did get, because I shared it on my story, is Cairo. And honestly, if you're a spicy girl, if you like yourself a bit Creed, or you like yourself a bit of Ouds and Amber, perfect. Go and get that scent, which I absolutely love. I also went and got a treatment with Mel. So Mel obviously does my wigs, as most of you already know. If you haven't, make sure you check out my video on the wigs that she's done for me. So I went and got my natural hair done. She gave me treatment. Yeah, I think we did like a deep conditioning treatment, and then she just braided my hair down for my wigs. But I got to try out the Tangle Teaser detangling comb for the first time, which I absolutely loved. So I'm gonna insert like a little clip for you just so you see how I get on and how amazing the product is, because I have 4C hair and I absolutely struggle with detangling, and going to the hairdressers for me is an absolute nightmare, but this product definitely did make it easier. So I'll just insert the clip now. So now Mal is just going in and she's wetting my hair, and then she's gonna go in and do a really good shampoo, and then we're gonna deep condition and detangle my hair. And I'm gonna show you Tangle Teaser's new curly detangling hairbrush. Now it's great for 3C to 4C hair types, and I have 4C hair types. Honestly, I feel like my hair is like more than the 4C. Like, it is so coily. So now we're just sectioning it out and adding some deep conditioner, and we are just detangling my hair. As you can see, like, I'm not moving around, I'm not fidgeting, and it's because this brush, honestly, like, look how easy that is to brush through. Oh my god, my hair is usually so hard and it's usually so painful, but this was my first time using this brush and it was so gentle, which I absolutely loved. I got like minimal shedding. As you can see, like, my hair is basically not shedding at all. So Mel is just going now and just like sectioning out the rest of my head and detangling that as well. And I love this brush because the two of the comb, like the teeth, are so flexible, which means that it's easy to remove knots. I'm not getting as much shedding. It's also cutting like my detangling process in half, which is saving me time, which I absolutely love. And all of this is great because it also helps me reduce breakage, which I have a serious problem with. Now we are just finishing the rest of my hair, sectioning that out, and then I'm just gonna put this in like a steam bag and I'm gonna sit in it for about like 30 minutes, and then we're gonna wash out the product. And I'm super happy with the results. Like, honestly, like, detangling my hair is a nightmare, and this like Tangle Teaser naturally curly detangling hairbrush is actually like heaven sent. And now we are just oiling my scalp. I'll leave the link in my bio to purchase the hairbrush, so make sure you do. Honestly guys, it is A1. So this is a close up shot of the hairbrush. As you can see, like, the teeth are so flexible, smooth, and it's great for reducing frizz. So I'm just going in with my Too Faced concealer in Warm Sand. Now guys, I'm actually going to Wireless this weekend, and I've never been to Wireless in my whole entire life, so I definitely am looking forward to it, but I'm kind of really nervous because of COVID, and yeah, like, we'll see how it goes. I am definitely excited because I'm going on Sunday. I got tickets for the whole weekend. I just feel like it's just going to be really shit, and it's supposed to be raining on Friday, so I'm just going to go on Sunday. Future's playing, so fingers crossed, like, Drake is there. Yeah, like, I don't know, a lot of people have been saying on Twitter that he's gonna make an appearance.
Working on the weekend, way off in the deep end. Haven't done my taxes, I'm too tired up.
Drake just loves the UK, so I'm kind of hoping he does, but yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if he is, but I guess we'll have to pray and hope and see. But another amazing thing that I wanted to talk about, besides my first time going to Wireless, and I haven't been to a concert. It's not even a concert. I haven't been to a festival since 2018. We are in 2021. That's how crazy this shit is. So yeah. But another amazing announcement, which I hope that, like, you guys have seen, and if you haven't, that's very awkward for you, is I'm writing a book, which I'm actually super excited about. I'm really happy. We're just gonna let this melt in so I can just like talk about how excited I am about writing my book. It's been, do you know what? It's been a journey. It's been a lot of hard work. I think I've cried so much, but I think writing a book really makes you reflect on everything, and I feel like I'm a more reflective person than I was a couple of months ago, because you're really like deep, you're digging deep, aren't you? Well, I am anyways. I can't even say the word properly. You're digging deep into your life really, and into your emotions and how you feel about certain topics. And like I've always loved writing. Like in school, I was always someone who was, well, I would like to think I was good at English. I wasn't that good, but I mean, I was good enough. But I never thought ever about it being like a career. Like I know there was some people in my English class who went on and studied like journalism and English, but that was never an option for me. I didn't even think about doing something like that. Obviously, being Nigerian, there's only so many avenues that you're allowed to take, and in my eyes, it's literally just medicine, science, lawyer, or engineering. So had to pick one of them, and that was it. And I think obviously I wrote a couple of articles for The Independent earlier this year in about like January, February, and that did really well. And it was the first time someone told me that I was like a talented writer, and I was like, what's that even? Like, what does that even mean? And I think it was just like really exciting, and I got a few offers from like amazing publication houses to write a book, and I was like, is this even real? I remember being on Zoom with my management thinking like, is this even real life? So yeah, so I accepted what I thought was best for me, and a publication house that I thought really understood me, the vision and the book as well. And I went with them, and I was just super excited about it. And a lot of people don't know what the process is like. So I remember I was speaking to someone and they were like, well, how exactly are you writing it, and like what are the steps in doing it? So basically, like for example, I'd write a chapter, which I'm doing now, and I would get it. So for example, I'm allowed to say this because I think I already said it in my caption on Instagram. One of my chapters is about colorism. So I wrote my colorism chapter a couple of weeks ago, and I sent it to my editor, Joelle. Hi Joelle, if you're watching this. I sent it to Joelle, and she would basically go through the whole thing, and she'd like write notes. So she'd say like, elaborate, take this out, rephrase this. And even before, like there's so much work that goes into it. Even before writing the chapter, we sat down in the office for hours. We talked about what chapter we felt was important to talk about, how it resonated with people, and then we talked about, well, how would I write it? Like what kind of topics and what kind of subtext, let's say, do I want to include in that chapter? How do I want the reader to feel when they read this? So there's so much that goes into it, and then I go off and spend like hours and hours writing, and then she'd edit, send it back to me, and then I do another draft, and that's how it goes. So yeah, like it's been a journey. And in case you didn't read my Instagram caption and you don't know what the book is about, I would say it's not a self-help book. It's more of a collective essay of topics that I feel very passionate about, and talking about societal issues in like an educational way, but also as like a conversation with a best friend, and also like a self-love book, like a book that I wish I read growing up as a teenager, and a book that I feel like I still need being like 25. And we talk about like friendships, dating, relationships, dating whilst being a black, dark-skinned woman, and dating apps. So yeah, it's a conversation with a best friend, and a love letter to yourself all in one, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm really enjoying writing it. It's also a nightmare. I'm not going to sit down and be like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, it's not hell, because it's absolutely hell. I think I've overblended this, but I like the way it looks, so I'm probably just going to go in and contour. But yeah, it's been a journey. Like, it's been hard. There's been sleepless nights, writer's block. It's been really challenging, but I'm learning a lot about myself whilst writing, so I appreciate the book for that. But it's definitely, am I still the only person who goes, when you're trying to contour, like, do you remember when people used to do that all the time? I still do it. But yeah, no, it has been hard. It has definitely been hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'm learning a lot about myself, and I am really enjoying writing. But yeah, oh my god, I feel like when contouring my nose, I get really scared because one wrong move, you're fucked. Literally, like, I'm not the type of person who can fix a makeup mistake. That's not me. If I fuck up my eyeliner, I'm not going out. That's it, job done, go home. Like, not leaving the house. So I'm just gonna blend this out. This is my contour. I'm using Huda. If you watch my last Get Ready With Me, I'm pretty sure I use this. I think I use it in the, I know, I actually use it in the shade Tan. It's Huda Tantour. With like contour, I'm not gonna lie to you, you have to be so careful because I mess it up for everyone. So we're probably gonna be here a while I try and fix this nightmare. I put on my story the other day about, like, I think I was saying that like turning like 25 has like literally shook me. Like, I'm shook to my core. So like, I think there's a lot of things that have changed now that I've like clicked 25 and I'm in 25 plus. Do you know how sad that is even saying that? 25 plus. I have a thing about age. That's why I don't celebrate birthdays, because like, I can't get over the fact that I'm aging. Like, mentally, it's just a shock to the system, and every year I can't believe it. On the day of my birthday, every year I genuinely can't believe that I'm aging, and then it makes me really sad, and then I just have a shit birthday, so I don't celebrate it at all. But I was just like thinking about like the changes that I've had turning 25, and one thing that was like really noticeable that I just thought was like down to the second lockdown was weight gain. Like, I don't know about anybody else who's turned 25 plus, but like, I've always been naturally like really like thin. Like, obviously I've always like been very like active, and I've been going to the gym and stuff like that, and I do weight train, but my body fat has always been like minimal. But now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, the struggle is actually real. Like, I don't think I show how much. I think a lot of people don't show how much they work out and go to the gym, because they just post like really nice photos on Instagram and their body looks amazing all the time. But guys, it's like a constant battle. It's actually a constant battle. Like, I'm always going to the gym. For the first time in my life, I'm like on a deficit, like a caloric deficit. I've never had that in my life, ever. I've always been a surplus, and I could like, I was that annoying person who could get away with whatever they ate. But now, fucked it, like absolutely fucked it. So I am going to the gym a little bit more. My diet has like changed completely. Yesterday, right, I was really hungry, didn't want to cook, so I was like, oh, just order food in, as you do, right? Then I got cauliflower rice. It smelled like shit. Like, it actually, I think everyone should go out and order cauliflower rice, just so you know how disgusting it is. Like, I remember holding my nose and trying to eat. Like, that's punishment. Like, that's actually a struggle. Like, life is so hard. But yeah, I'm back to the gym. I'm working really hard, just to look half decent, because the pressures of society and Instagram, and everyone wants to make it look like they live a perfect life and have the perfect physique all the time, which nobody actually does. But another thing I've noticed is like, everyone is getting married and having kids, and I just feel like I'm like outside and just like watch. Do you ever just feel like you're like, how do I explain this? Do you ever just feel like you're just like watching life pass you by? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, I open Instagram every day, I open Snapchat every day, and like now I'm actually not bothered. Like we'll get into it in a bit, but I'm honestly not bothered about like, you know, not getting married and not having kids because I'm not there yet, and that's absolutely okay. But like you open Snapchat and Instagram, and literally everyone is like either getting married, like doing baby showers, and I'm literally in my house watching Grace and Anatomy or Chicago Med, stuffing my face with like grapes or lentil chips because that's actually all I can eat now. And it's just like, how are we here? Do you know what I mean? So I've just went on and mixed, I don't know if you can see it there, an orange and a red blush made by Mitchell. Again, everything is in the description box. But yeah, like with me in marriage, I just feel like, oh my god, I feel like I can't I can't multitask. Like I'm the annoying person who will stop talking while they're texting. Like this is so hard, guys. But yeah, I think with marriage, with me, I've always been, I don't know, I think growing up in a Nigerian household and just growing up in church and stuff and seeing very, like, I feel like growing up I haven't had the best representation of like love and marriage, especially in like African churches. We all know what it's like. And like the cheating scandals and things like that, that like I am not rushing marriage, like I'm not rushing it, and I just feel like it's a huge commitment, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna be with this person for the rest of your life, and I know there's divorce and stuff like that, but like personally I would like to do it once. I know like life grabs you by the balls and you just never know what's gonna happen, but like, you know, I don't know, I've always had that idea that like, you know, I would love to get married once. Like my mom and dad have been married for, how old am I? 25, like about like, I'd say about 27 years. So like I'd love a long marriage, a happy one as well. And I feel like most people who are getting married now, especially in our generation, 25, 26, 27, are getting married just for getting married's sake and just being with someone. And I feel like everyone's so scared to be alone, and I don't know why. I feel like, obviously I've been single for a really long time, I'm sure you guys know, but I'm comfortable with being alone. Like I know sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so single, but that's just me just being dramatic because I'm just a very dramatic person. But I'm very happy being alone. Like I am so happy being single, because you see these scandals and like, listen, I don't have the heart for it. I wouldn't last. I wouldn't. You'd find me in a ditch. I cannot do a scandal. I absolutely cannot do it. I'm not made for it. I'm not built for it. I would die. I would absolutely die. I'd be mortified. And I just think about everything, and then it's like, I'm 25. I feel like sometimes when it comes to like age, like we put so much pressure on doing certain things by a certain age. I remember when I was in like uni, I used to always say, I want to be married by 25, have my first kid at 27. I'm 26 this year. 26 this year, and I'm single, and it's okay. It's absolutely okay. And I'm happy with that. Like, I'm happy with waiting for a love that I deserve. I'm happy with waiting for a respect that I deserve, and I'm happy waiting for someone that I deserve and is deserving of me as well. Do you know what I mean? And that's my stance on marriage. So when I see people getting married really early, I'm happy for them, honestly. Congrats, hon. I'm happy for them. But for me, I'm not ready yet. Because I just think, I still burn rice. Like, how am I supposed to cook for 2 people and potentially 3 people? Like, I can't do it. Like, I think about stuff like that, and I know, like, obviously, like, let's stop, like, misogyny and, like, you know, gender roles and stuff like that. But it's like, I feel like I can't raise and build a home right now. Like, I'm still sorting out my life. So, I'm not ready for marriage. And my mum is ready for that wedding. My mom has been planning this wedding for years. Now, let me tell you this, yeah. I've never ever been a girl who, like, you know, there's like some girls growing up who knew what ring they wanted, who knew what dress they wanted. Like, I had my best friend Fiona, right? And she's still my best friend, she's a really good friend of mine. And when we were in uni, she opened up this scrapbook, right? She's actually getting married in January, right? She opened up this scrapbook and she had her seating arrangements for her wedding done out at the age of 20. She had her dress, she'd had everything. And I've never been that girl. I've never liked any wedding dresses. I don't think I've ever even looked at a ring I wanted. I've just never been someone who's absolutely obsessed with marriage or being in relationships. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I've rambled on for ages, but like, that's my stance on marriage. And I'm happy for everyone who's getting married, but it's not for me. But I'm gonna blend this off camera because I feel like I'm doing, you know, a very scary clownish job. And then we're gonna come back and then I'm gonna bake and we're gonna talk a little bit more. So I'm just gonna set my under eyes with Huda. Yeah, so I think another thing that I feel like I have zero tolerance for, now being 25 plus, is like friendships. One-sided friendships and just people that just don't really support you. And I think being in the industry that I'm in, it kind of just highlights who is only there for you and who only supports you when it's beneficial for them. And I think growing up, I remember being like, do you remember like when we were all young and you used to absolutely love having like millions of friends, and when you were younger it was about who knew like how many people and who was typing everyone. And I think now growing up, like, you tend to really admire and just have a lot of love for the people who are always there no matter what, because it's so hard to find people and friends who are always there no matter what and will always support you even when it's not beneficial for them, and will support you regardless of where they are in life. Because I think the real thing about friendship is that, like, the honest thing is that we're never, or maybe sometimes we are, but we're never really going to be in the same place at the same time. Someone's always going to be growing a little faster and someone's always going to be growing a little slower, and that's just life. But I think the friends who support you regardless of whether they're growing slower or whether they're growing faster are the people you really need to keep around. So I think just like, I think writing my book and also just aging has just made me reflect a lot and just like look at life with like a different lens. And maybe I'm just growing up finally after 25 years. But I think that's where I am now with like friendship and stuff like that. And I think for me, I think a lot of the issues I've actually struggled, I wouldn't say like really struggled with, but like I've kind of like noticed now more than ever is one-sided friendships. Like, I think if you feel like you're always the one who's ringing and reaching out and setting appointments and checking in, you don't have a friend. Like, that's just putting it clear. And I think for me, like, I don't know, I just, like, when I find someone that I love, I genuinely love them, and it's so hard for me to let go of friendships, which is totally normal. Like, they're just like any relationship. And sometimes when you love someone so much, you never want to see the worst in them, just because you just love them so much and you're like nearly like blinded by everything. But if someone isn't reciprocating the same level of friendship or the same energy, then there's obviously something wrong there. And with me, I'm a huge advocate of sitting down and saying something at least once. Like, I have issues with communication, I absolutely know that. And I think my issue is I absolutely hate confrontation. I'm not one of those people. I absolutely hate confrontation, but I will do it once. I will do it once. Like, I'll reach out once and we'll have a sit down about why I feel how I feel about the friendship, why I feel like it's one-sided, and like what the other person can do, and sometimes what you can do. Like, sometimes you need to look at yourself from a different lens and just think, am I a good friend? Like, what am I aiding? Like, what am I doing? Because sometimes it's not always the other person. So I think it's important to have a conversation with yourself as well, and the other person. But I feel like there's only so many times you can sit down and have a conversation with someone about why they're being one-sided. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it gets tiring, and like, do you know, I never want to feel like I'm forcing people to be friends with me, because then that's not like real friendship, and like we're too old. We are too old to be doing this shit. But yeah, like I think a lot of things that I noticed like this year, and I feel like the pandemic really was a catalyst for a lot of things. But one thing I definitely noticed was like one-sided friendships, and I think to protect my own space and to grow as a person, and to kind of just like elevate, I just needed to cut certain people off. It's like when Drake said, what did he say? Something like, I've been growing and losing friends. That sounds like a fair trade to me. No, I'm gonna get that lyric because it's abs. When he said that, I was like, losing friends and finding peace. I was like, this one is for me. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna include the lyrics. But yeah, nah, he was so sick. And I really felt that, and I was like, you know what? Like that is so true. That is definitely a fair trade. Like my peace of mind is so much more important than feeling like I have to fight for something that the other person isn't willing to fight for. Who the fuck has time for that? But yeah, that's one thing that I've been learning. And then another thing about being in industry, and it's not even just industry, it's like, it's literally just life itself, is competition. I think feeling like you're in competition, or if you ever feel like you're in competition with your friend, then you're actually not a true friend. Sometimes you need to check yourself. And I always say that jealousy, like, I think jealousy is a very natural emotion, and you should never be ashamed of being jealous. But I think what defines you as a person is how you act on your jealousy. Like, jealousy is a natural emotion. Like, everyone is jealous, but it's about how you act. Like, what do you do when you're jealous? Like, how do you act? Like, what do you do as a person? And that really does define you as a person. And I think in this industry, like, you always want to think that like your friends have like your best interests at heart, and like they'll support you no matter what, even if it's not beneficial for them. But that's in this influencer industry, and even sometimes just in work as a whole. Like if you get a promotion or whatever, like it's not really the case. Like people, well, with most people, like no one wants to be in a competitive relationship. Like I don't ever want to feel like you're never going to be happy for me because it wasn't you, because one day it is going to be you, and I want to be there to celebrate with you. And that's friendship. Do you know what I mean? Uplifting each other and like, I don't know, just real love. And I have that with some of the friends I have, but with some friends, like, I'm gonna be honest and not sit here and lie, I absolutely don't have that. And I think this year for me, it was just like letting go and having peace of mind, because I'm tired. Honestly, this pandemic has taken all my strength, and I just don't have time for it anymore. Like, honestly, I just don't have time for it anymore. And I feel like competitive relationships are never healthy. Like, I don't know anyone, honestly, who wants to be in a competitive relationship. Not me. I read this amazing book. I'm gonna say a few words about it after, but one of the things that really stuck with me was that, I think it said something like, it's okay to outgrow people. Don't betray your progression by running back to the people that you outgrew. And like, you sometimes, like, I feel like sometimes when we read things like that, you don't really take it in. And it's like, letting people go is self-love. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, love yourself enough to know that I don't deserve that and I deserve better. And love yourself to let go and grow. And like, I don't know, I feel like I've just been doing like a lot of like reflecting and just like thinking. I just like learned a lot about myself, and yeah, we're just moving, keeping it growing. So I'm just gonna do my, totally out of content, but I'm gonna do my eyeshadow now. Gonna do a transition. We're gonna go in with an orange. And yeah. So yeah, that's it on friendships. And I think in conclusion, sorry, I'm using this palette. I don't know if you can see it, but again, I actually took this to the villa. See, it's still like labeled. Anyways, yeah, memories. Anyways, yeah, so in conclusion, I no longer find comfort in places that only celebrate me when it's convenient. And I think sometimes you have to keep saying that to yourself sometimes, and just remember, because it's totally normal to like say for a reason. Say for example, if you let go of a friendship and you miss them, that's completely normal. But I feel like sometimes you kind of need to remember where you were and where you're going, and why you're doing certain things and why you're letting go of certain toxic relationships. And I think that's it. That's life, really. And I was reading this book by a man called Chapter. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him. He's actually a black author, which obviously I'm so here for. And he writes like, I'd say poetry, but not like your typical Yvonne Boland, Sylvia Plath, Seamus Heaney. If you're Irish, you know Seamus Heaney. Not your typical poets, but I don't know, it's more of like a self-help, self-love type of book. And I just wanted to share like some of the things, because you actually have to read this book. I'll put it in the description box, but this is the book here. It's Flowers on the Moon by Chapter. An amazing, amazing author. Yeah, so honestly, I just love Chapter. And I say Billy as if like me and him are like friends and we go way back. I'm one of those people that call like everyone by the first name. See, like Ed Sheeran, I'm just that person to be like, oh yeah, me and Ed, or like, oh yeah, Ellie. Instead of like Ellie Golden, I'm like, yeah, I absolutely love Ellie, or like things like that. You swear I actually know these people, but it was really sad because I actually don't. But I wanted to like read like literally a little piece from Chapter, because like, I don't know, like he speaks to me so, like I resonate with him so much, and his words are absolutely so beautiful. So I'll read a little bit that I screenshotted, and it's, be so committed to your growth that it encourages the ones around you to grow as well. Be so committed to your growth that it scares away the ones that are tempted to drop you down to their level. And you just really have to like really think about that, and just like really sit down and like ponder on what those words actually mean. And it's always just self-love, and it's like, choose you. Always choose you, always choose your peace, always choose your happiness, and keep it moving. And I know it's so easy to say, like me sitting down here being like, oh my god, choose you, self-love, when I know how hard it is to like make like new friends at this big age of 25. I know how hard it is. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it's so easy. But like, if you have shit friends, or you're a shit friend, because sometimes we are shit friends, like, I know I'm probably that shit friend to someone else. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, you know, say that I'm perfect or anything. But I just feel like, what's the point of carrying like excess baggage? You know how I see it? I see it as like, you know when you go to the hairdressers and you have like really bad like dead ends, but your hair is like, you think it's growing because it's like getting longer. And your hairdresser keeps saying like, come on, you're gonna need to cut that, you're gonna need to let it go. And you don't wanna let it go because you're like, no, I really love the length. But the minute you let it go, your hair starts flourishing and growing. That's exactly what I see it like. That is a great analogy, like, I can't believe I came up with that. That's a great analogy. But that's how I see it. I'm gonna go off camera because I feel like it's gonna be a really long video and I don't want to do a really long video. So I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna like try and finish my makeup just a little bit until, you know, I can actually sit down one day and actually finish my makeup perfectly on camera. But I'm gonna go and kind of finish it off, and then we're gonna come back and have like a quick chat. So I'm back. I look, well, let's hope I look a little bit better than I did beforehand. So I just added lashes. I always use Dollhouse Beauty, probably I think an Ariana. I'll have everything in the description box, so there's no need for me to like sit here and like list out everything that I use because that's boring. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlighter. So this is Artist Couture by Mac Daddy. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone knows who he is, and if you don't, get to know. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I kind of have a little bit on already, but like I always just like to go overboard with my highlighter. Setting spray, I use like everything. I absolutely love Morphe. I love the MIX Dewy one. I like the Fenty, but that's not really setting spray. But Too Faced, I have the 3-in-1. I know there's a tropical one and there's this one as well. I kind of alternate to make a difference to me. I have dry skin. For reference, so my makeup does stay well put because my skin is dry, so I'm just gonna spray this. I've done it. I try not to move my face when I set my spray, so I don't have, when I set my face, so I don't have open lines. But yeah, we'll let this dry in a little bit. So in case anyone's wondering, this is a new unit that Mel made for me. I think my discount code still works. I'm not sure. I'll leave it on the screen if it's working, and if I don't leave it on the screen, then it's obviously not working. But I'll speak to Mel and see if she wants to give you a cheap discount. But yeah, as you know already, Mel makes all my units. This is a closure. I'm pretty sure it's 6x6 for reference. And yeah, dyed by her as well. Hair is provided by her as well. I always get asked that all the time. So yeah, that is the end of my video. I hope you liked it. Again, thank you so much to Tangle Teaser for sponsoring this video. Yeah, I hope you like my get ready with me. I try and do it a little bit more, but I just feel like my life doesn't change that much from like week to week. I'd rather do them like every kind of like 3 months and stuff, and like give you more of an update there. But yeah, let me know in the comments below how you think it went, what I should talk about next. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribing, and I guess I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.